just regular black sunglasses. I don't know. If they don't have them, we just got
As long as they're easily replaceable and not expensive.
I mean, I got them for free, but they are, they do say Seizures
They're special ones, so it's even more important than money. But sometimes it is. Sometimes it's more fun.
They're like, wait for us, wait for us.
Uy, tenemos que filmar hoy.
Like so, yeah. So I'll take a video. And
Walked out.
pause it, and then scroll through the video and just screenshot parts of the video. How you get this. That's how you type the reach out to each side.
Somehow, some sort.
Here comes another second. This also. I was a lot closer. Yeah,
So now you will see another piece. There are some remains of a wall that's used to surround our city. Carry on all the treasure from the New World, Peru, Mexico. They are in a renovation process, in restoration. Eso es lo que te iba a decir, papá. No. Sí, eso te decía al principio, va por aquí. And this is still old Havana. The foundation of Havana took place not so far where it's located, the terminal closure, one of the square called Plaza de Armas. So that means that the beginning of our city are from this area, old Havana, or Havana Vieja. You need to know also that about the 80% of our city of Havana is from the 1900 till the late 1950s. That means that a small percent is from the colonial times and another small percent after 1959. That means if you take a look, that Havana is for so many years, and because it's so old. The average age of building in Havana is more than 70 years old. Anyway, who came to Cuba first time 1928, and from that year till 1939 he visited Cuba 12 times. After that he moved finally to our country and he lived for more than 20 years here. So to the left you will see another beautiful building that was restored recently. Today is the finest hotel of Havana, run by a Swiss company. Also, next to this corner you will see Bacardi building. Take a look, this is one of the most beautiful examples of Art Deco in Havana. 1929 was the headquarters of Bacardi. Remember the Ron Bacardi? The factory was located in Santiago de Cuba, but the headquarters, the office, were located here in Havana. To the right, you will see the Fine Arts Museum of Havana that shows the national collection. The building is from 1954. And also next to this building, you will see the yacht that carried off Fidel Castro in 1956 here to Cuba from Mexico, inside the glasses. All around are also cars, planes, etc. that were used before 1959 and also after 1959. Because this area belonged to the Revolution Museum. The building that you are seeing now to the left used to be or was the former presidential palace till 1976. Today is the Revolution Museum, also in renovation. And also a piece of a wall in front of and the tank that was used by Fidel Castro during Bay of Pigs. The tank that was in front of the Revolution Museum. Yes, the copy of the statue of our national hero Jose Marti that is in New York. So the copy is a gift to our city, and I guess that is gonna be there, not so far. So beautiful. It's a gift from the United States to Cuba. So thank you. To the right, you will see a beautiful monument. This is Máximo Gómez Báez from Dominican Republic. That's why there are two flags, one from Cuba, the other one is from Dominican Republic. He came to Cuba before our first independence war, and he participated in the first one and also in our tour that the name is Ultimate Highlight of Havana. So we have included the visit to Christopher Columbus Cemetery, And then we will visit too the Morro Castle, the outside area of Morro Castle, and also Jesus Christ of Havana, that's called Havana University, etc. Also, take a look to the right, as tourism has been growing so fast in the last 2 years. And take a look, this is San Lazaro Street. So we are now, remember we were in Old Havana, and we are now in Centro Havana. It's 1900. Take a look and remember what I told you about the condition of our city. But anyway, take a look also, because you will find always, despite that it could be, so destroyed, you will find always a piece of beauty. Maybe in a window, in the door, the iron bars. You will always find something still beautiful. The details, yeah, are amazing.
I see.
Italian, everybody say Galliano Street. And also, there is a Cuban writer, his name was Alejo Carpentier, that he called our city, Havana, the city of the colon. And take a look why. And also take a look how we're, built in order to protect citizens from the period that we call our summer. And from November till April, this is the time, or is the season that we call the drier season. And to tell you the truth, is the best time to come to Cuba, because the weather is nicer than now. Also take a look to the left, how many people at the park. This is because the internet, Wi-Fi. For Cuban people, the access to internet, they need to go to places, public places like this, and has been possible for us since 2 years ago, more or less, because before that, for Cuban people, was not possible the access to internet.
There's no control the internet do that what they can get.
Soviet Union collapsed, we start to have another kind of currency. At the beginning was the American dollar, and then the convertible, the other currency that we have. Just a second, because now we are at the Chinatown of Havana. Take a look on the corners, you will see the name of the street in Spanish and also in Chinese. Chinatown, where maybe you cannot find, original Chinese. Why? Because in Cuba during the 19th century, many thousands of Chinese came to Cuba, many of them to build the railroad, and after 10 years more or less, they go back or went back to China. And another wave that was during the 19th century more or less, that many also Southern or Chinese came to Cuba. Most of them stayed here, but they got married with Cuban women. So our population is so mixed. As you know, we were colonized by the Spanish. Our indigenous, the population of them was almost exterminated during the first year of the colonization in Cuba. That's why the Spanish, they had to they had to bring to Cuba a slave from Africa. So that means that we have in our blood, Africa, something from Africa, from Spain, from China. Also Jewish people, Hebrews who came to Cuba, etc. So this is still Central Havana or Central Havana. By the way, it's the most populated municipality of area in Havana. Our country, Havana, has 2.2, more or less 2.2 million of inhabitants. So that means that almost the 20% of the Cuban population live here in Havana. Why? Because people try to find, better opportunities at the capital. because the life at the countryside could be more difficult. And this is one of the most populated areas, Central Havana. And the name of this street is Zanja. So as I also told you, we have a dual currency. So that means that in our country we have to live with both. And for example, for the internet access, cell phone, and etc., they need to be paid in convertible. So we use the American dollar from 1994 till 2004 more or less, and because the embargo, the Cuban government decided that we have been improving more or less, our economy. That's why the Cuban government legalized the American dollar in Cuba during the early 1990s as a way to survive. That's why public hospital. And to the right, you will see also the stadium that belonged to Havana University. This is the stadium. Havana University, the foundation took place during the 18th century in Old Havana and was moved to this area in 1902 and there are about 16,000 students. Pay attention now. This is the main entrance, the stairs of Havana University. So there are careers here of humanities, economics, mathematics, etc. The engineering school is not here, is another university outside Havana. As you see also, many of those buildings, they are in renovation. And this area belongs to Plaza de la Revolución municipality. It was forbidden to cut trees and also to build houses. We are seeing again, this is the hospital, the public hospital that I showed you before. In Cuba, as education also, the healthcare system is completely free. And to tell you the truth, our system is so good. We have thousands of thousands. This is another hospital that we pass through, a police station. And we are not so far to the place that we will visit, Christopher Columbus Cemetery. That is from the late 19th century, at the time when in this area there were not houses building around. 1871 was built Christopher Columbus Cemetery. The name Christopher Columbus were moved or transferred to Sevilla, so he's not here, but this is the name of one. This is the largest in Havana. In Havana there are 23, the largest in Cuba, and one of the largest all around the world. And it's a place, as a Cuban architect or an urban planner, he so often, he does some lectures, and he always admires in those sculptures, in those monuments, statues. Take a look, this is the Christopher Columbus Cemetery.
Picture right there's that.
What is your name?
Liutmis.
Yubi. Glad to see you.
Ask about it in the bar. The name today is Hemingway's drink. Come on.
Okay. Havana.
Action. Bay Ridge, Park Slope,
No, in Avenue U
Avenue U. Okay.
and Bedford.
Okay, Bedford. Okay.
It's a nice area.
Yeah. When my grandpa came over here, he worked all, but he ended up buying a deli on 70th Street, Manhattan, between York and First Avenue by New York Hospital.
Oh, I know. I was working over there.
Yeah, Upper East Side there. That's where he had the deli.
Uh-huh.
And then
In Brooklyn, there are a lot of Russian,
yeah,
Ukrainian.
yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, if you want to do any kind of questions, you can do it. I will try to answer you. So don't be afraid to ask whatever you want or any doubt that maybe you can have. Okay? So this is still then finally we get to the famous street of Havana called Malecon, the seawall, that is about 8 kilometers long. That is a good way to see how changed, last century. That means from the 1900 till the late 1950. And this area, Vedado, was during the 1920s and the 1930s the place where the wealthiest families in Havana used to live. Till was built another neighborhood called Miramar, located at Playa Municipality, where they were transferred till the late 1950s. So we will see just a piece of. Now we go through Almendares Bridge under the river with the same name, Almendares. This is the border between Vedado or Plaza de la Revolución municipality and Playa. About a year ago, he was born here in Cuba and he left the country in 1960, and he came back. And when he came back here to Cuba, last year, or the two last years, also, but yes, there are some trouble with running water. As a poor country, and after the 1990, for Cuba has been more difficult. They are so famous. For example, San Cristobal, the Palada that was visited by Barack Obama when he was here in Havana. We are going to do here in Miramar. Take a look, both. This is the neighborhood that I told you. After the 1930s, the 1920s, the Waltis families in Havana moved. Miramar. And most of them lived here till the 1960s. You know what happened? 1959, the triumph of the revolution, nationalization, expropriation, and most of those people left Cuba. Take a look now to the left, the beautiful greenhouse was restored recently. This is Miramar area, one of the finest neighborhoods in Havana. And this is the tunnel. Let's take a look. We are coming to the famous Malecon of Havana. From here till Old Havana, about 8 kilometers. This is a fort to the left from the colonial time. Part of the defense system of Havana. Chorrera is the name. From the 1900s, that was started at the Old Havana area, and the late 1950s that was finished here.
Main sport here, baseball.
Yes, our national sport is baseball. But young people now in Cuba have a passion for soccer, as you call soccer, and we call football. But anyway, it's still. Now to the right, take a look, the green building that you will see now. This is Riviera Hotel from 1956. Was a major landscape property. It's also in renovation now. It's also national monument. It still have the same furniture from the late 1950s. Also next to is the Coiba Hotel, a hotel built during the 1990s, 5-star hotel, running by a foreign company, Melia. Also after the 1990, the government allowed foreign company to do business or joint venture with the Cuban government. Before that was not possible in Cuba. It was just after the 1990. So remember, this is still Vedado area. The Malecon goes through Vedado or Plaza de la Revolución and Centro Havana or Central Havana. As I told you before, this is newer than the other ones because it was built in 5 periods. This building to the right is from the 1960, after 1959. To the right, you will see now another beautiful avenue. This is President's Avenue. It's a promenade, so beautiful. Also to the right, the sport field is also from the 1960s. Just a few scenes from this area are or were built after 1960.
Is that a public pool or is that just for us?
A public, yeah.
Bastante cerrado ahí en el litoral.
So pay attention because now you will see this building is a police station, but next to you will see your embassy.
U.S. Embassy is here, yeah.
Yes. with the green glasses. This is U.S. Embassy in Havana. Has been there since 1955, but as you know, 1961 we broke our diplomatic relationship. Was built in a hill called Taganana, where it used to be a cannon battery as part of the defense system during the colonial times. National Hotel has been, since was built, the place where has been many famous people, celebrities, presidents. Well, the mafia meeting place was there at the National Hotel. It's amazing. The architecture is eclectic. The gardens. If you have also time, you can visit this place. It's gorgeous. Also must be beautiful to have a mojito or a daiquiri at the gardens and enjoy the sunset from there, because the view is so beautiful. Take a look how it's changing the architecture, how different it is from the beginning, because this is an older area. Actually, when we pass the traffic light, we are gonna be in another municipality, Central Havana or Central Havana. Remember, Central Havana is from the first 20 years of the 20th century. So you will see now to the right a watcher tower from the colonial times, also as part of the defense system. You will see also another beautiful monument to one of the best generals that we had during our independence war, the mulatto Antonio Maceo, from the colonial times. Also, the Hugh building is one of the best hospitals in Havana and also Cuba. Was built during the 1980s. After 1959, Cuban government has been increasing the budget for the healthcare system. That means that many hospitals, polyclinics, and also many students, many medical schools were built all around the country. So remember the street that we did, or we drove to see when we were.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. To make the sugar, the other gun.
What's the easiest way to get from the ship to get to like the Tropicana stuff? Taxi or a bus or something else?
Taxi.
Just taxi. How much should it cost? Do you know?
So there are different prices because it depends on the position where you can see the show. So I don't know.
No, I meant for the taxi.
The taxi, maybe por la noche cuánto costará un taxi aquí a Tropicana, $15-20.
Right.
About 15-20 convertible.
One way. ¿Ida y vuelta or?
It could be, you can talk with the driver, you know, you can negotiate with them about, you know, the price, because it could be maybe the same person that pick up you, and then it could be cheaper as you talk, okay? You can negotiate always.
Always negotiate.
Okay.
See, there's a car right there.
Yeah, I see one right there too.
It's a horse carriage.
No, it's that one with the little, it's like a tricycle. It's out of the road. Parked.
On your side?
Please, very important, before you drop off, check your seat around you. Don't leave nothing here, okay?
No, por supuesto que no.